it stayed a very hard Magic system.
Yeah.
The only here's the biggest difference from the early editions of Dungeons and Dragons to, let's say, 5th edition and the upcoming D&D 1. Yeah. When you look at that Magic system, no matter what edition you're in, it's a hard Magic system. And that's because here's a list of what your character can accomplish with Magic. Here's what you need in order to accomplish it, and here is your limiting resource, spell slots or similar fare.
Yeah.
Right?
Your spell does a thing in a specific way every time you cast it.
Every time you cast it. Now that's a hard Magic system. And you're not wrong when you start looking at things like AD&D, where spells they had a lot more interesting complexity. You need a 3-inch long iron nail in order to cast Hold Person. Yeah. And in 5th edition, they made it easier for the players by adding a arcane focus or a divine focus. You can avoid the need for spell components by carrying this object which focuses. I personally love the spell components pouch. I think it adds a lot of fun RP to have your sorcerer wander into town every time you stop in town and be like, okay, I really need bat guano and some dandelions and some sulfur. I think that's fun. Yeah, but it is still very, very hard Magic.
What eases the necessity of shopping, because shopping in Dungeons and Dragons can eat up a session. It can take up so much friggin' time. Anytime we call it the magic item run, anytime that happens in our session, that's it. That's it for the whole session. We'll sit down for 4 hours and we'll be shopping essentially that entire time for specific things. So yeah, as far as them narrowing it down to you can just go into town and buy a spell components pouch and that refills all your common spell components, that's fine. You still end up having
I'm not against it by any means.
Yeah, I don't think it's gone any softer, though. I think it's still very strict. I think it's actually more strict now because you have fewer spells that have any type of applicable versatility. I'm pretty sure you're narrowed down to Prestidigitation, Druidcraft, and Thaumaturgy are the only ones that give you a little wiggle room.
Yeah, but now you got a lot of feats and stuff that can empower and do all these different things to your spells that you didn't have
spell
in the
doesn't
beginning.
Make it softer; it makes it harder. There's more rules.
No, I'm not saying it's. I just mean I think Magic's a lot easier now. It's a lot more useful and stuff now, and not as difficult to play a mage in 5th edition than Advanced.
See, I disagree. I think Magic is fine in 5th edition. It's enjoyable. What discourages me, especially even just looking at 3.5, nearly every spell in Dungeons and Dragons right now is a combat spell. It does some form of combat enhancement. Now, there are notable exceptions, obviously, but everything's about combat. And frankly, Dungeons and Dragons is not a combat simulator.